The moment I saw that oversized white SUV blocking my driveway, I didn't have to think twice. There's only one person in the whole neighborhood with the ego or the custom chrome-plated license frame that screams HOA Queen Bee Meredith. Meredith Langford, the woman with the aggressively bleached bob and pastel pantsuits, strutting around like she was about to give a TED Talk on how to ruin your neighbor's day. And yeah, she pretty much ran the HOA like her own little fiefdom. I'm Zayden Pierce, 36, ER nurse, just a regular guy with a low tolerance for bullies and bureaucratic nonsense. I bought this house for some peace and space, not to be policed by someone who acts like a sidewalk is her private runway. So picture this. I'm coming home after a double shift, wiped out, starving. All I want is to collapse on my couch, and bam, there's Meredith's yacht-sized SUV straddling my driveway like it paid rent. I literally laughed out loud, mostly because it was so on-brand for her. She's standing there in those ridiculous wedge heels, gabbing with another board member, sipping iced coffee like she's queen of the world. I roll down my window. Meredith, move your car. She barely looks at me. Zayden, it's a public street. I can park wherever I want. That's not a public driveway. Meredith, that's my driveway. She just waves me off. You've been reported for excessive lawn growth. We're doing a visual inspection. I looked at my lawn eater than half the block. You're blocking my driveway for an inspection that doesn't even exist. She flashes that plastic smile. We're within our rights. HOA business. That was it for me. I parked, got out, and started taking pictures, plates, curb, the works. She just stands there, cool as you please. You're wasting your time, she says. No tow company will touch an HOA officer's car. I didn't answer. I just walked inside, pulled up the city's parking violation code, and made a single call. 15 minutes later, a big red tow truck rolled up. Meredith's face priceless. She storms over, voice tight. You can't do this. The driver, not missing a beat. Vehicle blocking a private driveway. That's a violation. Got photo evidence and a complaint. I'm on the HOA board. Then you should know better, he says, chaining her bumper. She glared at me. You're going to regret this, Zayden. Not as much as you'll regret parking like a tyrant. I shot back. SUV gone. Silence. Beautiful. 2 days, no word from Meredith. No notes, no knock. Not even one of her signature yellow HOA warnings wedged in my doorframe. I almost started to believe she'd gotten the message. That illusion ended on Saturday. I'm fixing a leaky faucet when the doorbell rings. Guy in a blue polo, clipboard, laminated badge compliance officer. He says, barely old enough to rent a car. You Pierce. Yeah, what's up? He hands me a folded sheet citation for non-compliant landscaping, unauthorized exterior modifications, obstructing HOA procedures. 7 days to fix it or face fines. I read through it. One citation says I have overgrowth exceeding 2 inches on the southern perimeter. Another? Unapproved outdoor lighting. Those lights were here when I bought the place. He just shrugs. I just deliver the notices, man. Who filed the report? Not supposed to say. You don't have toy, already know. He stiffens. You want to dispute? Hearings next Thursday. Sure enough, there's a line and fine print internal review board meeting. He walks off to a white sedan. Meredith is in the passenger's seat, big sunglasses, sipping from a metal tumbler. They drive off without a glance. I sit at my kitchen table, rereading the violations. It's like a kangaroo court. I pull out the thick HOA bylaws binder I gotten during escrow. Deep in Section 12. Any compliance hearing needs written notice, witness statements, and a chance for the accused to present evidence. None of that had happened. They're bluffing. So I get to work security cam timestamps, inspection reports, last week's yard photos, even real estate listings from 5 years ago showing those same lights. I call the city's planning and zoning department. Then I call Carla across the streets, a former paralegal who once sued a different HOA and won. By Wednesday, Carla's handing out flyers, Know Your Rights. HOA abuse in Westbrook Hills. Suddenly, neighbors start knocking. The retired Navy mechanic. The single mom with 3 kids. A couple who just moved in and already got a $500 fine for Halloween decorations. Same story. Fake violations, selective enforcement, always with Meredith's signature at the bottom. Thursday, the hearing. HOA office, which is just a repurposed model home. Smells like fake plants and stale, sparkling water. I show up with a folder of evidence, 2 neighbors willing to testify, and my phone recording audio and party consent, totally legal. Meredith, plus 2 authors, a retired dentist, and some insurance guy. We'll begin. Meredith says, real official. Mr. Pierce, do you accept responsibility? No, I say, laying out my folder. And this hearing violates your own bylaws. She bristles. Excuse me. I flip the binder. You didn't provide witness statements. No HOA photos, no written notice. The dentist leans over to check. The insurance guy looks queasy. I keep going, those outdoor lights? They've been there since before I bought the place. Here's the proof. As for my landscaping, here's time-stamped footage. Meredith interrupts. This isn't a court, Mr. Pierce. That's where you're wrong. The HOA operates under state law. Due process applies. She opens her mouth, but I hand her a noticean official complaint with the Department of Consumer Protection. Any fines you issue from here will be considered retaliatory. It's part of the case. Silence. The dentist clears his throat. Maybe we should table this for now. Meredith grinds her teeth. This doesn't mean you're off the hook. I just smile. No, it means I just started digging. I leave. That night, someone slides a paper under my doorknow envelope. It's a list of HOA expenses for the last fiscal year. One line pops out. Consulting fee for $1,200. Langford Solutions, LLC. Huh. I'd never heard of any consulting firm in the HOA minutes. And sure enough, the address matches Meredith's tax records. The next morning, I file a Freedom of Information request with the city clerk, dig for any permits or contracts, and call a local investigative reporter, Julia Mauno, who covered HOA corruption before. When can I come by? She asks. Tomorrow. Bring a mic. Friday night, Meredith's SUV is back, parked legal this time. She slips a handwritten note in my mailbox URE, making a big mistake. I file it under evidence. HOA abuse. I'm not backing down. Monday, my house turns into a war room. Julia shows up with her crew. She sharp scans my records, hones in on Langford Solutions, LLC. That's Meredith's address. Julia says if she's laundering money through a fake company, we're talking fraud. That night, I can't sleep. I dig deeper, compare HOA minutes, budgets, the slip someone gave me. There's a $15,000 difference in consulting fees over 2 years. None in the official records. I copy everything and head to the police station. Detective Rena Caldwell, gray cardigan, shoulder holster, no small talk. You're saying your HOA board chair is falsifying budgets and moving money to a dummy company? That's the pattern. And I don't think she's working alone. Caldwell looks through my evidence. You willing to testify if this goes to court? More than that, I'll get half the neighborhood behind me. She takes copies. We'll open an investigation. When I get home, my phone's blowing up neighbors, Carla, even a few unknown numbers. Julia's story aired. You won't believe this, one message says. Meredith just called an emergency HOA meeting to raise dues 20%, says it's for legal fees. You coming? You bet. The meeting's packed. People I've never seen at any HOA meeting before. Meredith at the front, hair pulled back, voice trembling. We are facing a coordinated attack on our neighborhood's integrity. She blames outside media, proposes the dues hike for legal protection. I raise my hand, ignored. I stand up. This isn't about protecting the neighborhood. It's about covering your tracks. You used HOA funds to pay your own company. That's illegal. Murmurs everywhere. Meredith snaps. All expenses approved by majority vote. Funny, I say, holding up reports. None of these payments are in the public record. You doctor the books. This isn't a trial. No, but there's an active police investigation. One board member whispers to Meredith. Carla raises her hand, motion to suspend the board until an independent audit. I nominate Zayden for interim oversight. Hands go up. The vote's overwhelming. The crowd's turned. Meredith and her allies are voted out, just like that. Then, in a twist worthy of prime time, Detective Caldwell steps in, badge out. I need to speak with Meredith Langford and board members Price and Donnelly. We have a warrant for records and devices. Gasp. Officers move in, gathering laptops and binders. Caldwell pauses, nods to me, keep people organized. This isn't over. 3 weeks HOA office shut, sign down, Meredith's name gone from the directory. Her house silent. No brunches, no meetings, no clipboards. For sale sign pops up. The investigation grows. Forensic accountants trace payments for landscaping never done, fake security patrols, a bogus maintenance contractor managed by her cousin. Detective Caldwell sits me down. We're looking at 5 years of misrepresentation. She wasn't just inventing fines, she was pocketing them. So far, $230,000. Board members cut deals. One, Donnelly, gives up a flash drive hundreds of emails plotting how to hide fees. Keep me distracted, even make up some fines if you have to. That email goes straight to the DA. Charges come quick. Wire fraud, conspiracy, misappropriation, obstruction. Meredith is arrested at home, bathrobe and slippers, shielding her face from the news crew as she's led to the cruiser. Poetic, really. The aftermath? Messy but necessary. Temporary mediator appointed. HOA board dissolved. New charter written with transparency and rotating leadership. Carla's elected as chair, brings in an independent auditor, and we cut dues. Turns out Meredith had a secret emergency fund. The only emergency was her getting caught. A few months later, the community center is alive with chatter, real plans, and people pitching in. We're finally neighbors, not just residents. I walk the block, fresh paint, happy chaos, people who actually talk to each other. Even old-timers, like the guy with the cane, wave me over. Thanks for standing up, he says. You proved it doesn't have to be this way. Weeks later, I'm called to testify at Meredith's trial. The DA tells me, we're going to make an example out of this. On the stand, I'll lay it all out. The driveway, the bogus fines, the fake hearings, the embezzlement. The jury is out barely a day, guilty on all counts. 8 years in prison, restitution, and barred from any HOA ever again. She never looks at me. As I leave, I tell the press, this wasn't about revenge. It was about accountability. No one should be afraid in their own home. Not long after, we threw the first real block party in Westbrook Hills. No speeches, no dress code, just laughter, barbecue, string lights, and music. Carla raises a cup to the guy who got the SUV towed and the tyrant toppled. I laugh. All I wanted was my driveway back. She grins. You got more than that. She's right. What started with a blocked driveway ended up changing everything. Sometimes you don't realize you're the first domino, or that people are waiting for Simeone Anito's show it's possible to fight back and win. So where does that leave us? Here's what I learned. Tyranny only works as long as people are scared and silent. Stand up, even alone, and suddenly you're not alone anymore. Maybe that's how real justice works, not in courtrooms or headlines, but in little acts of defiance that ripple outward and give everyone else permission to do the same. Now let me throw it to you. Where's the line between standing up and starting trouble? Should regular folks risk everything to hold a neighbor accountable? Or is that just asking for more drama? What would you have done in my shoes? Drop your thoughts below or tell me your own HOA war story. I promise you're not alone.
Cảm ơn tất cả các bạn đã xem video.